What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Show. Today we're looking at the Mattel Masters of the Universe Origins Wave 5 figures, and in this wave we have 4 more figures. So we've got Fisto and Faker, as well as Mer-Man from the Lords of Powers, which was pretty much just like a prototype sculpt design for characters that they're redoing. So very similar with like the Masterverse new Eternia figures, but just with the Origins. So that's kind of their Lords of Power, so he looks cool there. And then we also have Evil-Lyn from the 2002 Masters of the Universe series, so she looks cool there. And I watched that growing up, so seeing this just reminds me of watching that cartoon. So all these figures are really cool. Of course, we've looked at all these characters before with like Masterverse and everything, so nothing really new, just some different looks in the Origins version. So unfortunately, they're not going to be as cool because we've seen them all before, so nothing new going on here. But we're finally getting to opening another setup. So let me go and get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off looking at Fisto, which is a former villain that was convinced to change his ways by He-Man, and he is a muscular warrior with a large metal fist right hand that packs a punch and can smash through rocks. So we've looked at Fisto before, especially with like the Masterverse figures, but this is the first time in the Origins, so he looks pretty cool here. So he's got the orange hair, so he's all slicked back there, and then the big beard as well, and you can see his face design there. And then he is an Origins figure, so they're going to have pretty much all this exact same body design, so it's pretty much like He-Man's body with like the wrist gauntlets and then the underwear piece with the brown fur just with the purplish blue color, and then he has the big armor chest plate here with all silver and the little like bulb pieces, as well as the silver and that like bluish color as well. He's got the fist hand, so it gives his signature name Fisto, so this one just a plastic fist, and then he's got the bare legs and big muscly arms going all the way down to the blue collar boots, very similar to He-Man's as well. So overall he looks really cool, but like I said, it's an origin figure, so they're gonna have pretty much all the exact same body design, just additional features, so with him with the fist and then the chest plate. So for movements, his head can twist all the way around, and he can look down that far and up that far, so not much movements in the neck, but not bad. Shoulders come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that bends close to 90 and has some rotation, and then we get the big fist for him that doesn't really do much. It does twist around though in there, where his other hand does have some flexing back and forth. Then we get a twist all the way around at the waist. The hips can come up that far and out to the side with the single knee joint that bends to the back a little bit, but there is some rotation in there, and there is some rotation at the top of the boot as well, shin twist, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So as I said, all the figures are going to have those exact same movements, so we'll see a lot of repeats here, but overall not bad for him. You know, not the best movements ever with the Origins design, but not horrible either. And for accessories, he has his fist hand, so that's always on him, but he also comes with the sword, so we have the sword design that we've seen with like Triclops and everything, so let's put this into his hand. So there's Fisto with the sword, and of course getting ready to punch, so he's ready for battle now, and overall he looks pretty cool there. I always like the look of Fisto and stuff, and pretty cool figure, so not bad at all for him. And next up we have Faker, which was a blue-skinned evil robot replica of He-Man that was built to serve Skeletor. So he's just a robot and has the He-Man design, so he's exactly He-Man's body, just repainted. So he has the He-Man sort of face design, everything, and just all the blue skin and the bright red hair. He's got the orange piece of Skeletor, so Skeletor's like chest plate design just in orange. And you can sort of see he's got the robotic like pieces there on his chest printed on. If we can pop this chest plate off, you could see that a lot easier, but you can kind of see it printed under there. Then he's got the wrist gauntlet and underwear and belt design just like He-Man, just painted black and the purple, and purple boots as well, and you can see the rest of them's all muscular blue skin there. So again, we've seen this figure before, so not really much to it, but we can get the head that twists all the way around, down that far and up that far, shoulders up 90, rotate around, single elbow joint to 90 with rotation, wrist twist around, flex back and forth, twist all the way around at the waist, hips up a little out to the side, single knee going back to 90 with rotation, and then shin twist at top of the boot with foot that flexes back and forth and twist side to side. So yeah, the exact same movements once again. And as I said, we've already seen Faker once before, so we have this other Faker that we got from the exclusive pack of some sort that came with Duplicate. So we got this version of Faker, which doesn't really look too much different. It just has the weird eyes, so like the weird like glitter green eyebrows or whatever for him, but the rest of the body's design is pretty much exactly the same, so no real difference there. And for accessories, all we get is his version of the Sword of Power, so just in orange this time that we can put into his hand. So there's Faker with the sword, and he looks pretty cool. So overall, pretty much just a different recolored version of He-Man, but he looks pretty cool with the orange and blue design. And next up we have Mer-Man, which is the aquatic warlord of the Crystal Sea that has telepathic abilities to control sea creatures and his henchmen. But this is the Lords of Power version, which is a prototype sculpt of the original promotional material for the Masters of the Universe line back in the 80s. So this is based off that design, which I actually think he looks really cool. Like, this is definitely the cooler version of Mer-Man to me. So we have his face design, which isn't too dissimilar from his original. I'll show you here in a second. But I like the orange and the green design. So he's got this like greenish with a little tint of blue like skin color design, but you can see his face design there with like the like gill or frill designs there above his eyes, and then like I said, the orangish yellow color around his face with the teeth showing. And then he's got this big like bone skeleton armor piece with the nice teeth all around his neck. Again, little fin designs, and then armor chest plate there with like a necklace, as well as a belt that has some like little dangly pieces there. So he looks really cool. Some yellow gloves and yellow boots as well, with the design very similar to the top of his head. So overall, he just looks really cool, and like I said, a much cooler design. And I'll show you that other one now. So this is just like the normal Masters one that we got from an earlier wave, so that's what he looks like. So I definitely think this new one for the Lords of Power looks much cooler. So for its movements, head can twist all the way around, down that far, up that far. So same, shoulders up 90, rotate around, single elbow joint with rotation, wrist twist around, flex back and forth, twist around at the waist, hips up a little out to the side there, single knee joint back to 90 with some rotation, shin twist at top of the boot, and foot flex back and forth, and twist side to side. So he has the same movements, and like I said, just looks so much cooler, so it makes him better. And then he also comes with the sword, so this sword with the awesome design on it there that we can put into his hand. So there's Mer-Man with his sword as well, so he just looks pretty cool overall. I really like this design for Mer-Man. And finally, we have Evil-Lyn from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the 2002 series. And she is Skeletor's second in command, evil witch with powers of darkness, created as an evil counterpart of Teela. So she looks cool here, and of course we've seen her before. It's pretty much the exact same figure, just repainted design to give her the colors from the 2000 series, where it's got the darker blue and then purple colors, as well as purple up on the headdress. So same headdress design, just with like the skeleton and everything in that purple color. Same outfit design on her chest plate, and then she's got the pale white skin compared to like the yellow, and then black boots there as well that have some fur around the top of them. But we'll go ahead and just bring in that older one just so you can see it is the exact same figure. They just repainted it for that newer series design, so you can see this old Evil-Lyn against the newer version of Evil-Lyn, which like I said, I grew up watching the 2000s series, so that's how I knew about He-Man and everything. So seeing this brings me back to that, but it doesn't look like she did exactly from there. But for her movements, maybe a little bit different. The head can twist all the way around, down that far and up that far, so very little neck movements. Shoulders up 90 and rotate all the way around. Single elbow joint that bends to 90 with rotation, and wrist twist around and flex back and forth. Twist all the way around at the waist. The hips can come up to 90, out to the side that far. Single knee joint that bends back to maybe 45 there with some rotation in it. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twist side to side. So she has a little bit better movements, pretty much the same range, just a little bit easier to move and get a little bit more movement in there since she's not so big and bulky, but still not a bad figure. And for accessories, she comes with her magic staff that has the crystal ball at the end, so just like the other one, with nice details and stuff there in this metallic-y purple color. So let's put this in her hand. So there's Evil-Lyn with her staff. So overall, she looks pretty cool, and like I said, bringing it back to the 2000 series, I really like that a lot, of just reminiscing of my childhood. So pretty good figure overall. Well, that's going to be it for our Mattel Masters of the Universe Origins Wave 5 figures. We're in it, we got Fisto as our only good guy, and then we got the bad guys of Faker, the Lords of Power version of Mer-Man, and the 2000X version of Evil-Lyn. So all these figures are pretty cool. Obviously, no real like main characters, I would say, besides like Evil-Lyn being one of the main bad guys, but being from the 2000X, you know, it doesn't really fit in with this series. But the rest of them look really cool. Like I said, Mer-Man's awesome, the Faker and Fisto are cool, and getting the 2000 version of Evil-Lyn reminds me of my childhood. So all great figures in this wave. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.